Ladies and gentlemen, today we are diving deep into the darkest corners of eBay, not to fake Takahashi's or quote-unquote mint condition optics that in reality maintain a fully functional fungal ecosystem within it. I'm talking about this mount right here. Is it a hidden gem or a very expensive life lesson? My name is Ali Al-Abaidli and welcome to Astra Pharma. So you guys should know me by now. If it's obscure, if it's weird, if nobody on earth has reviewed it, I will find it and I will buy it and I will emotionally suffer for your entertainment. So what are we looking at here? This is your usual harmonic drive equatorial mount. There was a time when in a video like this I had to explain what exactly a harmonic mount is, but by now I think everybody in the hobby knows exactly what these mounts are. They're like that one guy in the gym who looks skinny and then casually deadlifts an ungodly amount of weight. The mount is called FG-17 and it is made by a Chinese company called AstroFrog. The company is relatively unknown internationally, but they do make a lot of different mounts that are selling in China, and this is apparently their flagship model. Naturally, I had to see what all the fuss is about, so without further ado, let's take a closer look at the mount itself. In the mail, I received this glorious hard case, which will definitely be nice for storage and travel. I won't have to worry about the mount in my truck bed during those bumpy desert excursions. Inside of it, of course, there is the mount itself, as well as a 12-volt DC power cable, just the standard 2.1mm by 5.5mm cable, as well as a Type A to Type C USB cable for controlling the mount. And if we do a full 360 of the mount, we'll see a laser button on the right. We're going to see that in action later on. The base of the mount has all the useful markings to help with your polar alignment. The right side of the mount has the power button and the home button, which we'll also see in action later on. And the front plate has your power input and the SD4 guiding port for all the Neanderthals still among us. The saddle supports through the mount cabling with a DC output and the USB-C control port for the mount itself. Now this thing is clearly CNC machined with aluminum. It does feel like a tank when you hold it, to be honest. I was very impressed. It's still compact, it feels even more hefty and solid than something like the AM5N or even the SAL33 if I'm honest, in terms of how precisely built it is. Though it is noticeably heavier than both. It's still a very lightweight mount, don't get me wrong. It's only a kilogram heavier at 6.4 kilograms. The AM5N and the SAL33 are both 5.4 kilograms in comparison, and like those mounts, it's still very portable. It has no backlash by nature of it being a harmonic mount, and has a solid payload capacity of 13 kilograms without a counterweight and 20 kilograms with a counterweight. Again, all the usual. You can use the same type of counterweight shaft as the AM5N as well, by the way. The base of the FG-17 mount supports the same mounting system as the AM5N too, so you can easily mount it on something like the TC40 tripod, for example, if you wanted to. And speaking of ZWO's famous mount, the AM5N, here it is next to the FG-17. As you can see here, it does look very similar, but I do think the FG looks a little more premium and it feels a little more sturdy, to be honest. So let's take a closer look at the base of the FG. As you can see here, you have a bubble leveler on both sides and the polar alignment mechanism is as satisfying as it looks. Mine had no play whatsoever, something that I did suffer from with my AM5N, to be honest. And you know what? I freaking love this laser feature. I actually arrived late to my dark side when I tested this mount, and the laser was a nice way to quickly point the mount during assembly. It's certainly not necessary, but it is nice. The same can be said about the home button. You'll definitely find it useful one way or the other. You always have the option to simply hold it for a second and the mount will return to its home position. Again, not the most necessary feature in the world, but it is certainly very nice to have as an option. I can think of many scenarios actually where this would be useful. And the mount actually has Wi-Fi and it's operated via OnStep, your favorite open source mount control system. So you can actually use the OnStep app on your phone to control this mount, or you can simply input this IP address into your browser and control the mount that way. Honestly, this is why I do this and why I love reviewing things on this channel. Anyone can review a premium mount, but finding something like this feels truly satisfying to me. But this is all well and good, yet I know exactly which part of the review most people will skip to. The guiding accuracy and the PSD2 graph we all love to lose sleep over. And I really wanted this mount to do well, especially after unboxing it and holding it in my hand. So I went out after a 12-hour shift at work and started testing it. Immediately, my fears proved unfounded. The mount did better than I expected. Here I was guiding below or at 0.5 RMS, and the frame that came in was actually a 10-minute frame, and as you can see, the stars are looking spotless and I see no reason to complain whatsoever. So I breathed a sigh of relief and enjoyed the clear skies until the clouds rolled in. My guiding remained between 0.4 and something like 0.65 RMS. I do suspect that had I been using a counterweight, it would perform even better than this actually, and there was actually some wind that night. I will of course include my PhD2 guide log if you're interested. You'll be able to find it in a link down in the description. So what is the verdict here? Or perhaps I'm suffering from an acute case of recency bias, but I certainly love this mount. This is why I made this video, by the way. I have a habit of always reviewing things that I like actually. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I don't really feel comfortable bashing small independent manufacturers. Believe me, I had plans to review certain pieces of equipment and I just never uploaded the video because the products were really horrible actually. Most of them are just paperweights now. The good news is I had no moral dilemma with this mount. It was perfect. But do let me know if you actually want to see those negative reviews or if you want me to upload them. Anyways, I digress. Long story short, I love this mount. Between this, the AM5N, the SAL33 and the WiFi-17, I think I like this one the most. It just checked all the boxes for me, honestly. In my opinion, you can't go wrong with any of the other aforementioned mounts, but this mount is the one that I had no complaints with whatsoever. I can't think of anything really that I would like to change even. In terms of price, it sits right between the AM5 and the SAL33 at around $1,400 US, considering that it's more than $500 cheaper than the AM5N, which is considered to be the industry standard. I would personally always recommend this mount over the AM5N. It is objectively better, or I should probably say it's more full-featured than all the other mounts that I've mentioned, hence why it's my favorite right now. I do believe that if you're short on budget or the luxury features in this mount aren't something you're too interested in, then I would say go for a cheaper option. Otherwise, hop on the FG-17 train with me. It was completely trouble-free operating this mount. I did read the manual. I installed the version of OnStep that they recommended, version 3.15 if I'm not mistaken. They explicitly mentioned not to use the newest versions, even though I did actually use the newest version and I had no issues with it. And then I just reverted back to the version that they recommended and it was smooth sailing thereafter. I will include a link to the full English version of the manual and the AliExpress listing. Please be careful as there are people selling this mount at a hefty markup. I will also include a download link to the recommended version of OnStep if you're planning to use this mount through Ascom. If not, then there are indie drivers too, so ASI Air users can join in too. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, comment and subscribe if you did. This has been AstroPharma and thank you as always for watching.